Welcome to Golden Bachelor. If you love celebrity news and real entertainment updates, you're in the right place. Love stories from reality TV don't always last, but every once in a while, a couple comes along and reminds everyone that sometimes fairy tales really do escape the screen and step straight into real life. Abigail Heringer and Noah Erb started just like many Bachelor Nation couples. A few conversations, a spark, some awkward moments, a lot of smiles, and yes, plenty of fans wondering, will this actually work? Fast forward to today and the answer is louder than ever. Because this time, it's not about roses, proposals, or dramatic finales. It's about family. It's about growth, and it's about a decision that quietly changed a life forever. Abigail and Noah recently opened their hearts and their home to adopt a 9-year-old child. And while they didn't do it for attention, the moment fans learned about it, emotions flooded in from everywhere. This wasn't just a sweet update, this was a powerful chapter. From the very beginning, Abigail and Noah's relationship felt different. There was humor, Noah's playful energy balancing Abigail's calm, thoughtful nature. There was patience, and most importantly, there was respect. They didn't rush love, they built it. Friends close to the couple say they talked often about the future, not just vacations or dream homes, but the kind of people they wanted to be, the kind of family they hoped to create one day. And then life gave them a moment that changed everything. Adoption wasn't something they announced with fireworks or dramatic speeches. It started quietly, with conversations behind closed doors, long talks at night, questions that didn't have easy answers, moments of doubt followed by moments of certainty. Because adopting a child isn't about saving someone, it's about choosing each other again and again. Abigail, known for her empathy and emotional depth, reportedly felt an instant connection. She understood that love doesn't always begin at birth. Sometimes it begins with presence, with patience, with showing up every day. Noah, who fans often describe as funny and carefree, surprised many with how seriously he embraced the responsibility. Jokes faded when it mattered. Protection kicked in. The fun-loving guy became a steady, dependable force. And somehow, they became even more in love through the process. Their home didn't suddenly turn perfect. There were adjustments, learning curves, moments where laughter mixed with nerves. Imagine teaching bedtime routines while still figuring out your own. Imagine school mornings, questions, and quiet fears no one sees at first. But there was also joy. There were shared meals filled with laughter, inside jokes forming, a sense of belonging slowly settling into the walls of their home. Fans noticed something different about Abigail and Noah after the adoption news surfaced. They looked fuller, calmer, grounded. This wasn't reality TV love anymore. This was real. What makes their story even more touching is how gently they handled it. No oversharing, no dramatic headlines, just honest gratitude for the chance to become parents in a way that felt right for them. People often think romance fades when responsibility arrives, but in this case, it deepened. Love didn't disappear, it multiplied. Abigail and Noah learned that romance isn't only candlelight and kisses. Sometimes it's packing lunches. Sometimes it's listening. Sometimes it's choosing patience on the hard days. And yes, sometimes it's laughing at yourself when nothing goes according to plan. Friends say Noah still cracks jokes, especially when things get stressful. Abigail still brings calm when emotions run high. Together, they balance chaos and comfort in a way that feels effortless, even when it's not. This adoption wasn't about proving anything to the world. It was about answering a call they felt in their hearts. And the most beautiful part? A child who once needed stability now has 2 adults who chose them completely and intentionally. That kind of love leaves a mark forever. Bachelor Nation has seen plenty of shocking twists over the years, but this one wasn't shocking because it was dramatic. It was shocking because it was real. because it reminded everyone that love stories don't end after the final rose. Sometimes they begin again, stronger, deeper, and more meaningful than ever. Abigail Heringer and Noah Erb didn't just build a relationship, they built a family. And in doing so, they showed that the greatest love stories aren't about being watched, they're about showing up when it matters most. If this story touched your heart, take a moment to share it with someone who believes in second chances, real love, and quiet acts of kindness. And don't forget, sometimes the most life-changing moments happen when no one's looking, but everyone feels it. As the days passed, something quietly beautiful began to happen inside their home. What once felt like a couple space slowly transformed into something richer, more lived in, more meaningful. Shoes appeared by the door that weren't theirs. Drawings found their way onto the fridge. Laughter echoed at unexpected moments. And suddenly, the house didn't just feel full, it felt alive. For Abigail, motherhood didn't arrive with perfection, it arrived with presence. She learned that being there mattered more than having all the answers. Some nights were filled with gentle talks. Other nights were quiet, simply sitting together, sharing space without words. Noah, meanwhile, discovered a whole new side of himself. The same guy who once tripped over words on reality TV was now helping with homework, learning patience in ways he never imagined. And yes, he still found moments to joke around, proving that love and laughter can exist even on the busiest days. There were mornings that felt rushed and evenings that felt long, but there was comfort in routine, safety in consistency, and slowly trust grew. The child they welcomed didn't just enter a home, they entered a promise that someone would listen, a promise that someone would stay, a promise that love wouldn't disappear when things got difficult. Friends noticed how Abigail and Noah leaned into teamwork more than ever. Decisions were shared, support was constant, and disagreements, because yes, they still had them, ended in understanding rather than frustration. Romance didn't fade, it evolved. Date nights became simpler. Sometimes it was just sitting on the couch after a long day, exchanging tired smiles that said more than words ever could. Other times it was laughter over small mistakes, like burning dinner or misplacing keys yet again. And somehow, those moments felt more romantic than anything before, because they were real. Abigail often spoke about how love isn't measured by grand gestures, but by showing up every single day. Noah echoed that sentiment in his own way, less poetic maybe, but just as sincere. Together, they learned that family isn't defined by how it starts, it's defined by choice, by commitment, by the courage to say, "We're in this together." Fans who followed their journey felt something shift. This wasn't a headline meant to shock, it was a story meant to inspire, a reminder that kindness still exists, that love still grows, that some chapters are written slowly but leave the deepest impact. What makes their journey even more powerful is the quiet strength behind it. They didn't ask for praise, they didn't chase attention, they simply followed their hearts and trusted that love would guide the rest. And it did. Today, their story stands as proof that the most meaningful transformations don't need an audience. They happen in everyday moments, in shared laughter, in late-night talks, in choosing love when it's easier to walk away. Abigail Heringer and Noah Erb didn't just change a life, they allowed their own to be changed forever. And sometimes that's the greatest love story of all. Thanks for watching Golden Bachelor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next big story.